Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins, and today I'd like to show you how I use this free download to create a pretty festive card. So this has come along with Craft Essentials Series 150. You'll find the download for free on Craftworld, but you'll also find a link to it down in the description of this video. So this is just part of the download. There's lots more elements. There's florals and leaves, loads more beautiful sentiments like these that you can download. I've picked just a couple and I've actually just positioned them onto a Word document and printed them out in the size that I want. Just a tip for you here, if you're going to do this in Microsoft Word particularly, if you right click on the image once you've pulled it into your document, click wrap and go to tight wrap. That means you can move everything around without worrying about things kind of being near each other and such like. So really easy to move around the page then and resize as you wish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use some pencil crayons today. So nice and simple, nothing too messy. I've actually got a couple of nesting dies and I found one that fits perfectly around the sentiment that I've printed off. I kind of measured this first because in Word, when you do pull the boxes of the images, resizing them, it gives you the dimensions there in a little sort of tab near where you're resizing things. So I measured this die and I got this as close as possible. Then I've got another die. I'm going to be cutting this out from either red or green. Haven't decided yet. Kind of going to decide that once I've coloured everything in and see what colour I'd like a little bit more of. So it's just another way for you to use some free images that, as long as you've got a printer at home, you can use and add to your stash. If you like videos like this, anything to do with paper crafting and card making, don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the CraftStash YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. So let's get started. As I say, I'm going to be colouring with pencil, so I've chosen 2 greens and 2 reds. That's all I need. I'm going to start with the flowers first of all, and I've actually duplicated this one image. You see, I've just turned one on its side a little bit. I'm going to be cutting these ones out by hand, and as I said, die cutting the sentiment there. So for the flowers, what I don't want to do is too much colouring so that I actually lose the black outlines. So I'm just going to do little strokes, little lines, and I'm going to start with the darker colour in the centre of the flowers. And then I'm going to use the lighter colour, which is, it's not really a red, it's more of a sort of blush pink colour. And I'm going to be using that for the outer parts of the petals. So I've gone round the centre there, and then I'm going to go round quite lightly. I'm not using this with any sort of pressure really, and I'm just going over the red a little, not all of it, because I don't want to tone the red down from the centre of the flower, over the ends there where I finished the red and up into the rest of the petal. Like I say, not pressing down too hard. I'm quite happy to have all that lovely, those lovely sort of white lines in there showing. I just think it's going to add to the sketchy feel that I'm looking for. Then onto the green areas, so all of the leaves. Now I'm going to show you another technique for colouring, and this is where I'm going to colour the entire section, so in this case the entire leaf, over with the paler colour, so the paler green, and then I'm going to go in with the darker colour and just add some low lights. So for this one it's going to be along the stem there, so the centre line, and a little bit at the base of the leaf. So I'm going directly over. And just by using light pressure, I've got a nice blended image there already. So I'm going to use that technique for the rest of the leaves. So now these are all coloured in. I really like the sort of pencil colouring, sketchy look that you get. Now you can go over with a second or a third layer and get more of a solid colour, but I like that look. Now I'm also going to add colour to the merry and the happy. I'm going to do this in the same colour as the florals, and I'm going to ombre them. So in exactly the same way as I did before, I'm going to, on each of the letters, colour in the bottom, about the bottom third in the darker red, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the top in the lighter pink colour. So I've coloured in my words as well. There's also a sprig of holly here that I've also coloured in the same colours again. I've kept this a little bit darker, a little more pressure, just to differentiate between these florals and those holly pieces. So now I'm going to just cut around the sentiment there, leaving a nice big border to make sure that I can place my die on and that I haven't chopped anything off. And there we go, I've just cut that out into that fun shape. So I've got the next size nesting die up. I think I'm actually going to take this lighter green as inspiration for the mat and layer for this one. So there's a mat, and that will sit perfectly on there. That also then means that I can add some foam tape to this layer. I wouldn't usually add a lot of foam tape behind white parts of copy paper or printer paper because you usually see the adhesive through, but if I can tack that flat down onto there using something like a spray glue, I can then put some foam pads on the back of this cardstock and raise that up onto my card base, which is going to be a craft card base for a really modern look. Now in the two corners I'm going to have these floral flourishes, so I need to fussy cut those out. Now to make this easier, I am going to leave a little bit of a white border around them. It just means I've got less detail to cut into. So there's my two florals cut out with a bit of white border. Now what I'm going to do is, but I haven't glued this down yet. I am going to glue it down. I'm actually going to be using a tape runner because I find this is less likely to show through the paper because it is a thin paper, because I needed to get it through my printer. My printer doesn't take thick cardstock. I'm then going to place my mat on there. It's not glued on yet. I'm going to also place my floral on there, and my floral is just at the edge of the card to make sure that that's going to fit in the envelope. And then I'm going to position just there over the top of the flowers, and then do the same in this top corner like so. I just bring that leaf out a little bit there we go. So we've got our florals just coming out from behind our mat there, and now I can put some foam tape on the back here and everything's going to be raised up. There we go. So now I can adhere everything down with a little bit of a drop shadow on there, looking really fun. I love colouring. I love when I don't have too much colouring to do though, and this is absolutely perfect. You could get the children involved with adding the colour to this as well, and this is something that is completely free for you to download and use at home as you wish. So again, find out the details for this download in the description below, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our CraftStash channel just here, and we think you'd also really like this video just here. Take care. I'll see you again very soon.